Let's draft a Bustier pattern. So the first measurement here is going to be my shoulder measurement divided by 2. So I've marked that. Then the next measurement is going to be my neckline measurement. I'll be using 3 by 3 here. Then I'll go ahead and connect the lines. I'll connect my neckline together just to create a box. I'm still coming back to work on that, but just for me to know my working area. So the next measurement is going to be my shoulder slope, which I'll be using 1.25 here. Then I'll connect this, my 1.25, to my neck points. The next measurement will be my shoulder to nipple, and I'll just mark that. Then I'll mark my shoulder to the bust the same time, and also my shoulder to waist. Now after marking my shoulder to waist, the next thing I'll be doing is to mark across. I'll mark across just to note my shoulder to waist measurements. Then I'll continue to take my armhole depth. That's the armhole depth. I will take the drawing down. Then the next thing, I will extend the armhole by 2.5 inches. Now the next thing I will do is to look for the midpoint of the armhole. Once I get the midpoint, I'll mark that area and I'll go in by 1/2 inch, that's 0.5. Now I'll place my cuff on the 0.5, making sure that it touches the armhole, and like this I'll draw out my armhole cuff. Now the next measurement is going to be my shoulder to nipple. That's my shoulder to nipple. I already marked it earlier, so I'm just going to be running it across. If you don't have this measurement, you can just go down by 1.5 from the armhole. So I have mine, so I'll just be running across. So I'll go ahead and roll across the shoulder to underbust and also the shoulder to waist measurements. Now it's my bust span. I'm using 4 inches, so I'm just taking the one nipple point to the other. So I'm just marking it all the way down. Next, I need to get the yoke of this pattern. I'll be using 7. That's my shoulder to above bust measurements. Then I'll go ahead and roll it across. The next thing I'll be doing is to roll down my bust span measurements, the one I marked earlier. Now the job is about to begin. This is what makes the dress a bustier. That's going to be the underbust intake. So for this measurement, I'll be taking. Next thing I will do is my intake. Okay. Depending on the measurements you're working with, okay, I will use 1.2 here. 1.2. 1.2. I'll use the same thing here. So I'll place this like so. Take my curve and have this like so. Then come up here and mark. Okay, you can use up to 1 inch here. I'll use 1 inch for my tightening from there. So the next thing I'll do is to take my bust darts. Okay, so I'll come down by 1.5 from the bust point. 1.5 from the bust point. And drill it across. Then from there, I'll take 0.75 on both sides. So the next thing I'll do is to determine my cleavage depth. So I'm going to come to the neckline and check. So I have 5.5 for my cleavage depth. So I'm going to just mark it to the first dart leg. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is the yoke tightening. Now, because of this overbust dart intake, because of that contouring, I need to return that dart back to the yoke. So this is what I'll be doing to return it. See the way I folded it. You can also open up and just check the measurements you have there and transfer it to the shoulder edge, then mark. While you can also close and take your shoulder, you retake your shoulder measurements again, and then after retaking your shoulder measurements, you mark and you redraw the armhole curve. Okay, moving forward, I'll restyle the yoke. So you can close the darts to restyle your yoke. I mean, you can have a sweetheart neck, you can have it straight. It's all up to you. So the next thing I'll go ahead to do is to extend my dart leg to the waistline. So I'll just take it straight from the underbust line, take it straight down, and that's it. Remember, I took 1.2 on both sides. So I'm just trying to eliminate any form of sharp edge from the underbust. And the next thing I'll go ahead to do is to take the body measurement. So I'm going to start with the bust and I'll be skipping the darts. Then I'll take the bust measurement and mark. I'll go to the underbust as well. I'll take it from the center front and I'll skip the dart and mark. I'll take it to the waist, take it all the way, then skip the bust, skip the darts rather, and mark. Now I have my measurements. Let's go ahead to draft the back. So I'm just going to extend the armhole of the front to the back after taking the shoulder for the back. The next loop, the shoulder slope I used for the back is 1 instead of 1.25 as the front. So the next thing I did was to get my bust band measurement. That's the nipple to nipple. Then I went ahead to mark my nape. That's the shoulder to waist at the back. Remember, the measurement of the front is different from that of the back. So my back is lower, is shorter than the front length. I went ahead and marked the bust dart all the way down. Then I took my dart intake a half inch on both sides. Then I reconnect it to the tip of the bust band measurement that I took earlier. Now I'm going to draw my back yoke. After drawing my back yoke, so I'll also go ahead and take the measurements for the back. I'll take the bust, keep the darts, and take it all the way. Then mark it. I'll do the same thing for the waistline. Take my waist measurements, keep the darts, then mark it. Now I'm going to connect with my cuff, like so. Now I need to draw my armhole. In the front I went in by half inch, at the back I'm not going in by anything. So this is what my back looks like. Then the neckline for the yoke of the back, it looks like this. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel to see more of this. Our Bustier draft is ready.